Hello, everyone. This is Waldorf,
And this is Statler.
and this is Battle Report 342.
342.
This is my Buckeye Battles 2021 Game 1 in Delaware, Ohio. Playing the vampires.
So that would be the town of Delaware in Ohio, not
Delaware, Ohio should be.
You weren't playing in two different states.
We were. We were on the line. If you pick whichever side you pick.
But Delaware and Ohio aren't next to each other.
Somebody told me. Somebody lied to me.
No, yeah.
No. It's in Delaware, Ohio.
Yeah.
Correct. Anyway, so here we go.
Orcs and Goblins versus Vampire Covenant.
It is.
Yes. All right. I haven't seen the Vampire Covenant in quite some time.
It's making a big comeback. It was one of the big armies there.
Oh, interesting.
400. I have a cave goblin witch doctor with his power shrooms. He's the master of witchcraft. He's got light armor, magical heirloom, and the Pana protection pension. My feral orc warlord. He's the standard guy now with the Tuck-Tex guard, paired weapon, shady shankin, troll ale flask, and a potion of swiftness. A feral orc chief as a BSB. He's on a war boar. He's got a shield and paired weapons, light armor with basalt infusion. So he's like a 3-up in combat, 2 if you shoot at him.
And Hero's Heart.
And I forgot the Hero's Heart. Yep. So 5 strength, 5. So fairly solid. The only downside to the Hero's Heart is he doesn't get the Born to Fight rule because it caps him at strength 5.
Yeah.
And then a feral orc chief on a war boar. He's got the essence of mithril and the Dragonfire gem. So he's got a 2-up armor and a 2-up versus flaming. Pretty tough. This is the guy that you will notice does not have any type of weapon other than a hand weapon.
I'm sorry, your earlier statement. I thought Hero's Heart didn't cap you.
It does. It said, well, it doesn't.
You just don't get You just don't get any bonus.
You don't get any bonus. So he's strength 4. Born to Fight puts him to strength 5, which means the Hero's Heart does nothing for him. So yeah, it's
unless he loses Born to Fight for some reason.
The effect is the same.
Yeah,
but you do not whatever. You don't benefit from Born to Fight
from that part of it. Yeah.
Anyway, so the feral orc chief, this is the guy I submitted my list, and was sitting there looking at my list later and said, "This guy does not have a weapon." Notice the feral orc chief, the BSB, is carrying a shield that he will probably never use, and this guy could use that 5 points. I don't know, for a spear maybe. I don't know, paired weapons, something.
Yeah.
So he's got nothing. Here we go. We have 15 feral orc boar boys in core. They have shields, full command, and a banner of speed. So they're using light lances because that comes standard with them. 38 goblins, common goblins. They have shields, hand weapon and shields, 2 shady gits, and a full command. And they have the relentless company banner, so they can do the one big 15-inch march. 2 units of goblin raiders, common goblins. Loaded with shield, lances, and bows, and a unit of 8 Ed Bashers. Common orcs with shield, lances, full command, and a flaming standard. So they come in at strength 7. They can hit really hard at strength 7 with flaming. People didn't want to mess with him. 15 iron orcs with a musician, a gargantula with a web launcher, and 2 giants with clubs.
Okay, so this is a new army for this tournament. Was there anything unusual about the tournament, or just straight up army list?
The only thing they did is they allowed the giant book.
Okay.
Not the big, large book, the book about giants.
So every army could have a giant.
Every army could have giants. Okay. And a couple of them,
took
advantage of that and had a good time.
Is that why you decided to play with giants?
No.
Okay.
It had nothing to do with it.
Okay.
Because had I thought about it, I might have switched one of these to the belly flop giant that's in the book.
Right, okay.
Which gets the template attack and jumps on the unit.
Right.
Anyway, because I just think it's fun. Anyway. If you've watched this channel enough, you know I'm not playing for the competition. I'm playing to have a fun time. And that sounded very fun. Anyway. So that's my army.
Or you're playing for the competition, but it doesn't turn out, so you say you're trying to play for fun.
So I say that's exactly
there you
go. So spells, I got the Hereditary, Bring the Pain, Will-O-Wisp, Twisted Effigy, Deceptive Glamour, and Ravenswing. And the twisted effigies there primarily because of the last entry on his list. And here's his vampires. So he's got a vampire count who is the Nosferatu bloodline on Zombie Dragon. He's an adept. He's got evocation. He's got a great weapon and an obsidian rock. Another vampire courtier who's got the dead arise. Nosferatu.
He's got dead arse.
The dead arse.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's general of the dead arse.
Just get rid of that I.
Yeah.
Yes. Got the arcane knowledge, and he's a master of occultism. Next, he has 3 banshees. It's the first time I've seen banshees in a long time. 33 ghouls with a champion.
Okay.
21 skeletons with a standard bearer, banner of speed, because you need movement 5 skeletons.
Mm-hmm.
Musician and a champ. It's got 20 zombies with a musician, 2 units of 8 dire wolves with champs, 465. A dark coach, 2 great bats, 3 winged reapers with paired weapons, and a shrieking horror. I hate the shrieking horror. It gives me something to do with that no shooting spell.
Okay, because that's why I took the banshees.
What's that?
I guess that's why I took the banshees.
Yes, so he can still yell at me.
Yeah.
Yeah. My guys don't like getting yelled at. It's a personal thing.
What kind of orcs are you?
So he's got the hereditary spell, Arise. He's got the dead Arise. Hand of Glory, Breath of Corruption, Grave Calls, Mark for Doom, another Arise, Whispers of the Veil, and Spectral Blades. A lot of choices in spells.
Yeah. Did they release the replacement cards for the last update?
I think so.
Never looked.
Almost positive.
Of
course, now it won't work with the Dread Elves, but...
That didn't work before, so...
or whatever. Dread Elves, or... Anyway. So this was hidden deployment. They had these, I think we've shown them before in the previous years, where they have like a cardboard stand that goes in the middle of the table.
Right.
You take a good look at the table from the side, and then you go to your respective sides and deploy your units. So you're deploying at the same time. No one knows where anybody is, except you get a slightly idea by where they're standing. But other than that, it was a breakthrough. You're trying to get to your opponent's deployment zone.
So people with long arms have an advantage.
They do, because they can try to sneak stuff.
They can reach.
Yes.
The short guys were always getting uncovered.
Well, needs to be a punishment for being short.
So what do we got here? Those are 2 woods?
Yes. 2 woods.
A hill-ish like device?
A hill that the giant's standing on. A ruin. We called that a ruin in the center.
Okay.
Of course, the wall complex on the right. Called that an impassable on the far right. And a water feature.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. That was part of his bag.
Yeah, the big rock.
Yeah.
With the cave in it.
With the cave.
Yes.
And then the water feature. Yeah, I kind of wish they'd bring those back.
Rivers things? Or
yeah.
What? Yeah. I don't mind rivers like this. I think it works just as well.
Yeah.
As a pond. Of course, they're not in the map packs, so.
That's what I'm saying. I kind of wish they'd bring them back as a
right as a map feature.
Water's not so potent in the game anymore, so.
Correct. Yeah, and the way they set it up too, it's like a big U shape. It goes out and turns to the left, hits the edge of the board, and on the opponents it goes back to the other way.
Yeah, why not?
So, so it worked out pretty good.
Yes, I use your terrain.
Anyway, moving on. So there we go. We got that. And here we go. Vanguards. Moved up. Moved up so far, so I mean it doesn't matter. I think he dropped to go. No, he rolled and not dropped to go first. He rolled and won the first. Nope, I won the first turn. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
I won the first turn and came forward to where you see me. There we go.
Okay.
Spider just parked itself in the ruins. Giants come up. 4 boys coming up on the right. Everything's moving forward.
So you'd vanguard your wolves forward, and then you moved them over here.
Correct.
Okay.
I did. And it was just kind of move them forward and see what they look like and then just park them.
Okay.
So I do that a lot.
And is that blue thing supposed to be his dragon?
The blue thing on the right is his dragon.
Okay.
Correct. He had not come 100% finished painting this army, as you can tell.
I would have never guessed by looking at the
if you weren't
bases.
surprised. The wolves actually look a lot better than what they look like in this picture.
Okay.
The basing needs to be done, but he did a good job painting them.
Looks like he's airbrushing.
He did.
Yeah.
the wolves have a airbrush. Most of it's airbrush. Anyway, so his turn. He redeploys a little bit. Actually, backs up with most of his stuff, except on the far left. He actually backed up from that unit of skeletons over. They all backed up. So that's a unit of skeletons here, a unit of zombies here in the middle, and the ghouls here. The purple ones are the ghouls. And then he casts a stupid Arise spell, or the Dead Arise, the one that creates the unit.
Right.
Bound level 4, 2 dice, failed to spell it.
Huh.
Talk about annoying. Anyway.
That's where those zombies in the front of you came from.
Yes, the zombie. That's where that new fresh unit.
So it looks like he's got his 3 banshees in that zombie unit. Is that right?
3 banshees are on the skeletons on the far left.
Oh, that's the skeletons. Okay.
Yeah, the zombies are here.
And where's his characters?
I think they're the one character's on this, and the other character right now is in this unit. I think he's right there.
That's him right there. Okay.
Maybe that's the unit of 20 skeletons. I can't really tell from here. Anyway.
It looks like yeah, I can't tell.
So he created this unit of zombies, but based on what the spider can get past them and hit the wolves, and the wolves can swing in. The wolves have to charge first, but if the wolves charge first, they can go around, clip the corner, and let the spider come into the other corner. Into his wolves, my wolf riders into his wolves.
Okay, and what's your thinking there?
My thinking is they both go in. I mean, if I lose this fight, I'm out of the game, so I'm not worried about losing the fight.
Yeah.
I get the overrun on both. The spider's on his guys, and the wolves are tying up his his ghouls, so they can't come in for a counterattack. And then my entire army moves up behind it.
Okay.
Is what I'm looking at.
Okay.
I thought it was a brilliant plan. And of course, they make it. I lost one in the ruins or the woods. One of the things.
And you had to maximize. That's why your spider.
And I have to maximize why the spider got pushed all the way over, but it still works because I still clip over on the left.
Are you on the front or the flank of those ghouls?
We never checked. I believe they would be in the flank.
I mean, from this camera angle.
From the camera angle, it looks like it's a flank. Maybe we did not even check that.
Okay.
Oh well. I was just as happy with where I was. So
yeah,
it didn't matter. But
it's like that's.
But still, it would have been even better the other way.
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
Anyway, the other 8 wolf riders charged into the newly created unit of zombies.
Okay.
And lost 3 of them in the dangerous terrain. So we got that going for us. So they've already, just by being there, have killed 3 of my wolf riders, which is unfortunate. But they're only wolf riders, and whatever. It's a little bit better picture.
They really need to do something about, victory points with these raised units.
Oh,
in my opinion.
Yeah, I know you're not a fan of that one.
I'm not. Don't like free units. It's one thing growing them back, something else growing new units.
And there my other guys came forward. I'm still respecting that zombie dragon a little too much, probably, with this unit on the far right, the big unit of boar boys. But yeah, I held back a little too far with them, I thought. Moving on. There's that. Back to his. So we crushed them. We overran, as you see. And I did not check if it was a flank, because it probably was. So they're going to hit him in the front. His turn, his 3 banshees came running out. What he's, of course, hoping to do, and I also got deceptive glamour off on the paired weapon guys back there. You can't see it right now, and there'll be a picture in a minute to show you. His zombie dragon that was over there about where that arc is, I got I had a great magic phase. So I cast Deceptive Glamour on these guys, on the Winged Reapers. He let it go. He tried to stop the random movement on his zombie dragon, but I used a lot of dice on it.
Okay.
Because, it was really good. Anyway, and it went off anyway. He failed to dispel it. And used most of his dice for that, which let me put the no shooting on his Shrieking Horror over there on the far left.
Okay.
Because he can march forward and yell at something if he wants to, the way it is. Oh, and by the way, in my turn, the Wolf Rider fight went splendidly, where I killed all but 2 of them. after the crumble. So
Being held up by zombies. Okay, so
yeah.
then on his turn.
So his turn. Now we're back to his turn. His turn. The zombie dragon had random movement. Went back. It's back behind the 3 winged reapers. You can't
Okay.
see it, but there's a. We were worried about him knocking it off the
Okay, so
table.
there's a
So there's
marker.
a marker back there where it is. You can't
Okay.
see it through them. A shrieking horror, since it couldn't yell at anybody, backed up a little bit. Stuff on the left came up a little bit, and like I said, he's 3 banshees come running out. They just want to scream and yell at my big unit of boar boys. My biggin boar boys
Okay.
is their plan, and he's going to try to lower my toughness, of course, before he does that. There's the left side of his board, and there's his wolves come shooting up the side, which I don't like because now my general is kind of penned. Because if that if that wolf unit hits my goblins in the flank, he may force a panic check. I mean, a break test. I got 3 ranks and a banner, but he's got a flank and a charge and a
Yeah.
couple wounds, and he forces a check. And
Mm-hmm.
if the general's not around, that's a rerollable 7.
Yeah.
If the BSB in general are both around, then it's a single 7. Anyway, so not thrilled with that. I got to deal with it next turn. We got that. And what is this? Looks like just some more moving around stuff. There's the little black mark, the little blue mark on the back where his dragon is. His zombie dragon. He did manage to get his bats in between the 2.
Oh, that's what that unit. Okay.
The bats came up behind the winged reapers, so that way if I broke through on the first round, he could redeploy. I mean, I overrun into the bats and still can't get to the zombie dragon. He's got one more chance. And I think that's it.
So, but he ended up standing with 1 guy left.
Yes.
That was the end of the fight.
Yeah, he stood with 1 guy left.
And the wolf riders.
And the wolf riders, nothing happened. I didn't hurt him. He didn't hurt me.
And nobody reformed.
And no, I was happy not to reform. I'm not sure what he was thinking, but
was he worried about being in the woods or something?
I think did I win? Did I kill 1 or 2?
Maybe you won.
I don't know.
I only see 3 guys in the back, so maybe you won.
Yeah, maybe I killed 2 and had a charge for 3, but he has 3 ranks. I would have to kill 3. Seems very unlikely.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I don't recall what happened with him, why he didn't reform though.
Okay.
And his banshees did yell at my guys and killed 2, which is acceptable to me. It was his turn, so he made me reform first with the spider, so I couldn't play with it to leave a gap for somebody else to get in.
Right.
So.
And you didn't kill the zombies again?
I don't think we've done that fight at this point.
Oh, okay.
Because I think I killed him. I haven't even done this fight.
Oh, okay.
So he killed 1 of me, and I ran.
Okay, that's
a little bit better.
That's much different. Yes.
And then you can see him all the way back here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So did that happen before the zombies, and you ran through there and lost some guys?
I think they lost guys through in the woods, in the ruin.
The ruins.
I think I won the zombies first, though.
Oh, okay.
And those wolf riders redeployed around to deal with his wolves, if they have to, because it's my turn next.
Okay.
So, and I thought about this a lot, and I'm still not sure if it was the right thing to do, but I couldn't afford to leave this unit hanging back here, the goblins hanging back here with those wolves hanging around. So, as much as I want those up front fighting, blocking.
Because don't banshees only have like 1 attack?
Yeah, but they can yell in combat.
Yeah.
They've got like D3 + 1, strength 4,
or
something in combat.
Okay.
So I'm not that scared of them.
Right.
But I mean, they'll eat up the wolf riders, I'm sure. But they need, like I said, I can't.
Oh, I guess they're what, a 2 up or a 3 up?
3 up.
Aegis, I don't remember.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there is that too. And like I said, I I'll go back to saying it again. I can't afford for that goblin unit to take tests.
Understand, but that's an easy thing to avoid. But yeah.
Well, no, not for me, because my general never stays near the army. For normal people, yes, it may be.
Yeah.
So go into turn 3.
Yeah. Right. I think left face will take care of it. Yeah. But yeah.
So turn 3, you can see the giant can see start on the far left. The giant can see the Banshee, so it's going to charge them in the flank.
Okay.
They actually came forward and formed a unit.
Okay.
The Wolf Riders are going to charge across his front and charge the dire wolves in the flank. My general doesn't have the arc, but the BSB does, so the BSB is coming out of this unit. The unit itself can't pivot past the spider and still hit, so the BSB is going, and the entire unit over here on the right, the big unit of boar boys, they have the evil eye on them. If I'm not mistaken, I used the war cry on this turn.
Okay.
So they're movement 10 right now, and they're going to try a long charge into the. I think I needed only a 10 to reach into the rear of the zombie dragon, which is the blue
Okay.
mark back there. So that's that. And we go, and it was good news for everybody but the big unit of boar boys. They didn't quite make it, but the black orcs marched forward on the far right.
Okay.
And the Ed Basher boar boys cut across to the left, as you can see them.
Yep.
And the guys popped their banner, to Relentless Company banner, to get up forward to goblins and get everything back within spell range.
Okay.
The one thing I'm finding with Witchcraft and a guy on foot is the 18-inch, and that's why I gave him the Relentless Company, is to get him up there at some point. But 18-inch bubble's kind of rough.
Yeah, you're much better on the wolf.
Yeah, so I think that's another change that this army list, we'll see if I continue with it. Anyway, the other giant came forward but didn't reach the ghouls, if I'm not mistaken. The big giant up there in the top.
Okay.
I think he's short of the ghouls. It looks like he is, because I think this was just normal movements. Yeah, so there we go. And I lost another Wolf Rider charging out of the ruins to come back here. I think there was only one in the ruins, maybe two.
It didn't cost you a panic check.
Well, I think it did, but no, if it was just one, it didn't. The general was still hanging around at that point, so would have been on a 9. Yep, and there you go.
Those are the ones you fail.
Yeah, exactly. So between the spider and the BSB, we crushed the Winged Reaper, and the spider can't. He's got like 6 wounds. Spider has 7 wounds on him now. Spider has been abused in that fight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The BSB could overrun and did into the bat. Unfortunately, he's got his placement. He did his placement of the bat very well.
Okay.
And I got kind of messed up on my charge, and I couldn't get past him.
And where's the dragon? Where the card is?
The dragon, you can see where the dice is. You can see one of those little. It's a clear one of those L things.
Okay.
It's hard to see back there.
Yeah, I was trying to see exactly where it was.
But that's where he is, poking out back this way. And
he's facing which way?
He's facing the edge of the board,
the table
because he ran
that way. Okay.
Correct. And I random moved him this turn in my spell phase.
Okay.
So he's still going random. And we had to take a pause to look to find out if you could use your fly during a random move, and apparently you cannot, because it follows pursuit rules, and pursuit you don't fly.
Okay.
Over here on the left, the giant managed to get a couple wounds through. I think 2. I think he did 2 wounds through, and with the other, charge and a flank, and crumbled him a little bit. Maybe he only got 1 wound through. Actually, I think it was only 1. I think it was 1, a charge, and a big flank. So 4 to his 1, maybe. Anyway.
Okay.
So crumbled a couple, and they're sitting around there. And that's that. Yeah, there's his wound. The Wolf Rider's down here. Traded wounds with the dogs, with the dire wolves. And that's it. So it's back to his turn.
Traded a wound and...
Maybe I didn't wound. Maybe my charge and flank counted for his 1 wound and caused a wound that way.
Yeah, because he should have a lot more.
I think with the crumble, we traded a wound. So back to his turn. The Shrieking Horror, which again cannot yell. It's got the card on him again. The coach has the double negative movement, which was kind of a waste because it's so close. I was hoping the idea when I put them there, I was hoping the giant would actually push through the banshees and move on, but you know that was probably a forlorn hope.
Yeah, that would take a lot.
Yeah. Anyway, so the shrieking horror, which can't yell, and the coach with the -2 movement are going to charge into the giant.
Okay.
And the unit over there, which I believe are skeletons, are going to charge the flank of my other giant.
Because he has to make space.
Because he needs to make space,
Yeah.
and
it's a
I
flank.
think the ghouls are coming too.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I didn't put that arrow there, but
okay.
Yeah, and the ghouls went too. There you go. So missed a picture here, but of course the wagon and the band and the shrieking horror smashed
Made short work of the giant.
And overran to where you see him. The shrieking horror held. It did not overrun because he didn't want to get too far out. I thought he would have been fine actually myself, but the coach did overrun into the boar boys.
Was it originally 8 wolves?
It started with 8.
Okay, that's probably what it was.
Oh,
then.
wolves.
Yeah.
Yes, we started with 8 wolves.
So then you did probably get one, and with the charge and everything, he crumbled.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And
he was unable to reform.
So this turn got a little weird because there was a couple things that we missed. He cast his. Let's see, back up.
It was like he charged your.
And
your
then
BSB with his dragon.
Correct, and then his dragon charged out and attacked my BSB. The spider back by her behind it with 1 wound, which I'm okay with. I mean, he's got random movement, so.
He's got it again?
Yeah, he's got it again.
Okay.
That guy's going to have it for the rest of his life.
Important safety tip.
Yes. So we got that. And there, it's just another picture in the center of the board. All right. So. So we found out later, we started to move on to the next turn, and we had skipped a combat, this one down here, the Wolf Riders on the bottom left, against the wolves. So, and he also cast the breath weapon on his guy and forgot to use it.
Okay.
So we're like, okay, well, we got to go back and do the Wolf Riders. Let's go. I'll give you your breath weapon too, whatever. So because of that, when we went back, the Wolf Riders actually beat the
wolves,
the dire wolves, and reformed. There's like still 3 left, I think.
Okay.
Reformed back around to face in the center of the board. Because of the breath weapon, which annihilated my boar boys, the general ends up standing there, I think, with 1 guy. So therefore, the coach's overrun did not take it into him. The black coach, when it overran, I wasn't there to be overran into, so we had to redo that.
Oh, I see.
It was a mess. So basically,
now I understand.
Okay, and then there's a little bit more difference that happened now because now my turn went on. They killed my giant. His 2 units killed my giant.
Right.
But the general was left standing up there right behind the goblins.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was alone there, he turned, hit the banshees in the flank, wiped them out, overran into the side of the shrieking horror, which the wolves had also charged, kills the shrieking horror, and pivoted back into the center of the board.
Wow.
So he smashed the banshees and the shrieking horrors.
That's some heavy hitting.
He's a mean guy. He's not a pleasant orc. Okay, and then this was also my turn of charging.
He killed them, or he crumbled them?
He crumbled them.
Okay. And then he turned to face the center again after that.
Correct. Okay. And the Wolf Riders overran, and if I'm not 100% sure, but I think they're on that unit of skeletons.
Okay.
Or zombies, whatever they are. Actually, they're skeletons.
His ghouls overran into your goblins?
His ghouls This is back to my turn.
Yeah.
On my turn, the giant was still there at the beginning of my turn.
Okay.
So the goblins came in to help.
Oh, okay.
Knowing the giant was going to die and break the fight into 2. The Wolf Riders overran and tied this unit up. The spider came in to help with his 7 wounds on him. All he needs is a single poison attack. He did his attacks forward. 2 ghouls. So it's only 3 attacks forward. I mean, 2, 4, 5, 6. 6 attacks forward. Doesn't cause a single wound to the goblins. Doesn't cause a single wound to the spider. So now he doesn't even have his hatred for next
Okay.
turn.
Okay.
Anyway,
And then
the boar boys over here on the far right
yeah.
have reformed to face out this way because they're going to deal with they're coming back to deal with the coach is my idea, or get revenge for whatever just destroys the goblins.
And your BSB still fighting
Well, I
the
mean, BSB was fighting, and the other character, the extra character I had, the
right.
orc chief, charged in to assist the BSB with the dragon,
Okay.
knowing the iron orcs are closing.
And the dragon's
So
got 2 wounds on him.
dragon's got actually 3 because one of those is a 2.
Okay.
So he's hurt. He's not down, but he's definitely hurt a little bit.
Okay.
So now we're caught back up, kind of.
And his character in with those
His character's still hanging out back there with a
zombies.
unit of zombies in the back left.
It's got a wound on him or something.
He's got a wound on him because he's miscast.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I think he might have 2 at this point. He's miscast twice. Once he took 2 wounds. Once he healed one, took another one. I'm not sure if he's healed it back yet or not. Yeah, he was miscasting all over the place. Not on a ton of dice, but anyway. So that's
Okay.
what we have there.
And you boosted up the speed on your orcs.
And I boost the speed on the iron orcs because they want, I definitely want to get them in.
Yep.
And I'm not in any hurry to shift down, of course, because I don't want attacks going at my mage. Panic protection pension doesn't help you against ghouls. So we got that. Spider went in. We got that. We're good. And we're still the same. A lot of pictures of the same thing. I thought I'd trim these out. Okay, so the spider just went to work and just hammered stuff here. But did get killed. He did get his wound through.
Okay.
Goblins did a couple wounds. Wolf Riders over here just kind of sat. They did hold at least. And so it hasn't freed up that unit of skeletons.
Okay.
So up there on the top,
where the 2 wounds on your generals come from?
The ghoul, the banshees, or the shrieking horror. One of the 2.
Okay.
One of the 2 got to get him a couple wounds on him.
And he just turned his chariot on his turn towards the center.
His chariot's turned toward the center. His dragon killed my hero, which panicked my boar boys.
Okay, so they're running.
So you see the big yellow line where they're going.
Yep.
And luckily this was on his turn, so I've got a turn to rally. And I'm happy about almost everything except that.
Okay.
And back to my turn. So Mr. General has to go in and try to rescue his Wolf Rider friends, because I think the goblins, it's a slow attrition, but I think the goblins do finish the ghouls. Over here on the right, I want to keep the coach off the iron orc, so we form the wall.
Doesn't it fly?
No.
I thought it flew.
I hope not. If it did, that was a really stupid move.
Yeah.
On my part. I'm pretty sure it doesn't fly. It used to. It used to after it did so many wounds, it started.
Yeah, I thought it flew now. Okay.
Maybe so. Maybe
I could be completely wrong.
Maybe I should know this rule. Anyway, so the iron orcs go in, get deceptive glamour off on the dragon, get the born to fight off. I still don't kill the thing.
No more wounds.
I'm just irritated. No, I think it's up to 4 now, or maybe 5. I went great weapons on the first round.
And he did like 7 on you?
And he did like 7 with a stomp. Did like 7 on me. So yeah.
So steadfast was important.
Steadfast 8, and I stick around.
Okay.
And now we're going to go back to his turn.
Is there a character over here now with these?
With that big line of boar boys?
No. With the ghouls.
Oh, with the ghouls? No. Neither. Well, I've got a mage in there.
Not. Oh, that's your banner. I'm sorry.
That's my banner.
I thought it was like there was a figure standing over there. I was like, who the hell's that?
No. My mage is on the far right corner, and I'm not shifting down to bring him in.
Right, to get him in
I'm shifting down to everyone but him.
Okay, so he's able to reform his
skeletons. And I do have the Shady Gits who are doing a little bit of work in there. Because he targeted, first time he forgot and didn't target them. Second round, he targeted 1 each. And they both, the 1 attacks that missed were, of course, both on them.
Oh, okay.
It's, it's the way that works.
Well, they give you lots of extra attacks, so.
Yeah, so Anyway, so we're
So
just grinding away.
So you're grinding away these skeletons, and your general's in there now,
Yes.
and he's turned to face you, though.
He made his check this time and turned to face me.
Okay.
Because the general didn't do that well in this charge, actually. But he finished him off on this turn.
It's not well at all.
I think he's down to one ghoul, or is it none? It's either one or none in front of the goblins.
Okay.
The iron orcs manned up, went to paired weapons, and finished off the dragon. And because they still get their +1 strength, so they were strength 5 with the paired weapons, and that actually let them go, I think, at the same time as the dragon, if I'm not mistaken, with the deceptive glamour. No, actually, it let them go first.
Probably let them go first
With the deceptive glamour, and they
he's
were able
slow.
to kill it before it went.
Okay.
Over here is Chariot charged into the boar riders.
Only killed 2.
Only killed 2. He had a terrible attack, and I made some saves. So stuck there. And if I'm not mistaken, that's almost where it ended. And we were, again, I think we only finished 5 turns in this one. Those 2 are still alive. And yes, that's where it ended. Knowing it was his last turn, you can see his general, Nosferatu guy, came piked out there.
Okay.
Just so he could get within range of something, I thought. I'm not sure what it would have been, but I don't know. Maybe he just didn't want to die with this unit.
Okay.
But it turned out to be a 15-5 to me.
What were the objectives?
Breakthrough.
Okay.
Breakthrough. And I was making fun of him the whole time because it was like, you're playing a foot army. You're playing a primarily movement 4 foot army in Breakthrough, and you're backing up the first 2 turns. This is not going to go well for you. Anyway.
Is this somebody you knew?
Yeah, it was. He was a great guy, Jeremy. It was a fantastic game. So, a couple critical mistakes. Here, for whatever reason, I lined up on the corner of him so I could make sure I could keep an eye on that zombie dragon. But if I'm an inch to the left, he can't charge me with the zombie dragon. So, I mean, that was a penalty. That's part of a penalty of not having it there. You know, I should have asked for it to be placed back on the map at least temporarily. Why I made my choice.
Right, and they're shielding the. And was the spider shielded?
No, he could have come out the spider. I don't care. If he comes out the spider and kills it, I don't care because he's got iron orcs and
and
he's got the world coming after.
But that's what he would have been able to do.
What he could have done that, yes.
I think it was a bigger mistake not charging the flank of those ghouls with your wolf riders.
Because they would have died quicker. Because I could have got them all in on that one.
Yeah.
They never came back anyway. And so that was bad. Here, yeah, okay. So I charged in with this guy. Couple mistakes here. So this guy charged in to help with the
Goblins?
BSB. No, up there on the top right.
Oh, okay.
The guy charged in the zombie dragon to help the BSB out. And then I forgot to challenge with him. Because that would have meant he couldn't attack my BSB. You know. Anyway.
Right.
Whatever. So, bad mistake. Bad mistake. And he's got pretty much the same. He's got a better save than the BSB. So, again, terrible mistake. Then, we've got another one. This game was full of mistakes. General here. The general here could have done a long charge and tried to get after his wizard. Because there's a gap now. He's lined up to go past this unit. He could have flipped to the left and shot the gap and got in there. But anyway, that's not a huge mistake, but still a mistake. And then one of the biggest ones.
He could have actually gotten over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because all he needs is an inch gap, and there's more than an inch between those two.
Yeah.
I guess.
Anyway. No, it just looked like you were running into this unit that you ended up fighting, but okay.
Okay.
Cameras do interesting things.
Yes. Okay. So you notice the big unit of boar boys is circled.
Yeah.
Squared, whatever you want to call it. If you recall, they're squared because of this. Let's get it back up to, maybe. They're squared because of, remember they fled?
Yeah.
Right there, because they had to reform, because that guy died. They fled. They had to reform. They're feral orcs. They should not have fled.
Yeah.
They should not have led. I should have picked up this stupid cart on the last turn as the 15 of them charged it.
Yeah.
So angry with myself because I didn't even think about it till later.
Mm.
As I'm picking them up, I'm like,
That didn't even occur to me they were feral orcs, but
it's
yeah.
like exactly. It didn't occur to me, and I've been playing them as feral orcs.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
so other than that, still a fun game.
Yeah.
Fantastic game. I think we only got 5 turns in.
Mm-hmm.
The turns were 2 hours and 45 minutes. That's real tight for a ninth age game anymore. I don't know that the 15 minutes would have allowed us another turn. Maybe not.
Yeah, it's tight. Plus, people haven't been playing a lot.
Correct. So people are rusty. So
Mhm.
it's like I said, 2 hours and 45 minutes is a little tight.
Yeah.
Had we been playing a little faster and then had an extra 15 minutes, we could have got 6, and it would have gone well for me. But whatever.
Right.
Would have gone better.
Yeah.
But 15-5 to start this tournament off.
Yeah. No, I think you made the smart move going with primarily mounted just to make sure you could
Get stuff in combat.
be winning on turn 5.
Yeah, that's the hope.
Yeah.
They've unleashed their attack and they haven't got smashed back yet.
No, I think that's one of the worst things. You've got a slow moving army and you're counting on that turn 6 victory,
Right.
and
You don't have a turn 6.
You don't have a turn 6.
Right.
And that's a easy thing to happen to you on purpose or by accident. Yeah.
But it's okay. So I started off an army that I was not comfortable playing and against, and ended up with a 15-5 to start the tournament.
There you go.
So I'm happy with that. It's a good win.
It is.
So
Let's see what happens next.
we'll see what happens next. Thanks for listening.